What if the one love you never forgot suddenly walked back into your life? After years of silence, distance, and choices you can't undo, the city looks the same, but everything feels different now. The sun rises slowly over Los Angeles, painting the sky in soft gold just like it did years ago. Cars move through the streets, people rush to their busy lives, and the world keeps turning like nothing ever changed. But for her, something has always been missing. Vivian Ward, now older, wiser, and stronger, stands by a large glass window, looking out at the city she once explored with wide eyes and a hopeful heart. She has built a life that many would admire. Success surrounds her. She carries herself with quiet confidence, dressed in elegance, her smile calm, but not as bright as it once was. Time has given her everything she thought she wanted, yet deep inside, there is a silence she never learned to fill. Memories don't fade the way people expect them to. They don't disappear. They settle quietly in the corners of the mind, waiting for the smallest moment to come alive again. A passing song, a familiar street, or even a simple laugh from a stranger can bring everything back. And for Vivian, those memories always lead to one person: Edward Lewis, the man who changed her life in ways she never imagined. The man who saw her when no one else truly did. Years have passed since they last stood together, but his presence still lives in her thoughts like a story that was never fully finished. Across the city, Edward Lewis moves through a very different world. Powerful, respected, and still at the top of his game, he's everything people expect him to be. Meetings, decisions, deals. His life is filled with control and order. But behind that calm and steady image, there is something he never speaks about. Time has changed him too. The sharp edges have softened, and the confidence he once carried so easily now feels heavier. He has everything a man could ask for, yet there are moments when even he feels the weight of something missing. Not success, not power. Something deeper. He walks into a large office, the kind that speaks of wealth and years of hard work. The view is beautiful, but he doesn't notice it anymore. His mind drifts, just for a second, to a memory he doesn't allow himself to visit often. A laugh, a smile, a moment that felt simple, but meant everything. He quickly pushes it away, focusing back on the present. That's what he has always done: move forward, never look back. But some stories don't let you move on so easily. The world sees to people who have built perfect lives. A woman who rose above her past and created her own future. A man who turned ambition into success and never looked back. But the truth is, some connections don't break, no matter how much time passes. They stay hidden, waiting for the right moment, or the wrong one. And somewhere between the past they shared and the lives they built apart, something is about to change. Because fate doesn't forget. And love, the kind that changes everything, doesn't disappear. It waits. The night feels different, like something unseen is slowly coming together. Lights shine across the city as cars line up outside a grand hotel, where one of the biggest charity events of the year is about to begin. Inside, everything looks perfect: soft music, elegant dresses, quiet conversations, and smiles that hide more than they show. People from powerful circles gather, each carrying their own story, their own purpose. And among them, till lives are moving closer without even knowing it. Vivian steps into the hall with calm grace. She belongs here now, not as someone trying to fit in, but as someone who has built her place with time and effort. Her presence draws attention, not loudly, but naturally. She greets people, shares polite smiles, and keeps moving, yet there is a quiet distance in her eyes. She has learned how to be part of this world, but she has also learned how to protect herself within it. Nights like this are familiar, but they never truly feel personal. On the other side of the room, Edward arrives surrounded by people who respect him, people who wait for his words, his approval. He moves through the crowd with ease, shaking hands, exchanging short conversations, staying composed as always. But something about tonight feels different to him too, though he can't explain why. It's not the event, not the people, not the setting. It's a feeling, subtle but persistent, like a memory trying to surface. Moments pass. Conversations blend into background noise. Glasses clink softly, laughter rises and fades, and everything continues as expected. Until it doesn't, Vivian turns slightly, her attention caught by something she cannot name. Maybe it's just instinct, or maybe it's something deeper. At the same time, Edward pauses mid-conversation, his focus shifting without warning. And then it happens. Across the crowded room, their eyes meet. No words, no movement, just silence. The world around them continues, but for a brief moment, it feels like everything else fades away. Years of distance, choices, and separate lives collapse into that single glance. It's not shock that fills the moment, it's recognition. Immediate, undeniable, and real. Vivian doesn't step forward. She doesn't turn away either. Her expression remains calm, but her eyes carry something more: questions, memories, and emotions she thought she had left behind. Edward stands still, his usual confidence slipping just enough to reveal something honest beneath it. He didn't expect this. Not here. Not now. Time feels slower. Every second stretches as both of them process what this moment means. This isn't just a meeting. It's a return of something unfinished. People pass between them, breaking the direct line of sight, but neither of them moves right away. It's as if both are waiting, unsure of what step comes next. Should they walk away and pretend that this never happened? Or should they face what they both know still exists? Edward is the first to move, but not toward her. He steps aside, taking a quiet breath, trying to steady himself. For a man who has always been in control, this moment feels unfamiliar. Vivian watches from a distance, her thoughts racing in a way she hasn't felt in years. She had imagined this possibility once long ago, but never truly believed it would happen. When their eyes meet again, the feeling is different now, stronger, clearer. This is no longer just a coincidence. This is a moment asking for a choice. And the question hangs between them, unspoken but impossible to ignore. What do you do when the past you never forgot suddenly stands right in front of you? The city hums outside, but inside, the room has narrowed to a quiet, charged space where everything feels heavier than it should. The music fades slightly into the background as people move around them, unaware of the small storm brewing between two figures who carry a lifetime of memories in their eyes. Vivian steps closer to a window, letting the soft glow of the streetlights brush across her face, and for a moment, Edward watches her without speaking. Years have passed, but some things remain untouched. The way she holds herself, the subtle tilt of her head, the faint smile that appears when her eyes catch his, these are things no time could erase. They speak, but it is slow, careful. Small words, measured and polite, yet every sentence carries more weight than the room around them can hold. It's been a long time, Vivian says, her voice soft, yet steady, as if testing the waters. Edward nods, letting his own words come slowly, not wanting to rush the fragile tension. Too long, he replies, and even in that short response, there is honesty, longing, and the memory of years that have stretched between them. They don't need to recount the past. The past is alive in every glance, every subtle movement, every pause. The conversation shifts naturally from small talk to shared memories. The gala, the city, the charity work, it all blends together with the personal, the moments that only they can understand. Laughter comes, soft and tentative, but it carries the weight of old familiarity, the echo of moments that once defined them. Yet beneath the laughter is caution. Each of them knows the danger of letting feelings resurface too quickly, of opening a door that may lead to heartbreak. But at the same time, it is impossible to ignore the pull between them, the invisible thread that has never fully broken. Edward glances around the room, as if the people and chatter could somehow shield him from the emotions stirring inside. But there is no hiding. Vivian notices every flicker, every hesitation, and her heart beats faster with a mixture of excitement and fear. They are two adults now, carrying the weight of choices, responsibilities, and lives that have been built apart from each other. And yet, the history they share refuses to be dismissed. A sudden interruption, a friend, a colleague, someone reaching for attention breaks the fragile bubble around them. They step slightly apart, each taking a moment to collect themselves, but the energy remains. Neither can fully return to the flow of the party because the simple act of being in the same space has changed everything. Edward finds himself replaying old conversations in his mind, the ones that never got their proper ending. Vivian, on the other hand, feels a mix of nostalgia and apprehension. She knows that allowing herself to feel too strongly could unravel the carefully constructed life she has worked to create. Minutes pass, and the crowd around them continues to swirl, but they keep finding each other's gaze across the room, drawn back like magnets. Every look is a conversation of its own, a question, a confession, a challenge. What do we do with what we left behind? Can we face the truth of what we still mean to each other? The unspoken words linger, more powerful than any spoken.